Hey guys, it's Kelly. I am up on Spotlight Sunday today, and I'm just going to start with telling you a little bit about myself. I live in Virginia, and I'm about 2 hours away from the beach, 2 hours away from the mountains, and 2 hours away from Washington, D.C. So we're smack dab in a really good location. I am married to my best friend. We've been married for 17 years, and Mike and I met through a rescue squad. Both of us were very interested in the medical field. I went through it, and he obtained his paramedic and then went on with another choice. But we have 2 children, and my oldest is 15, and that is Patrick, and my daughter Emily is 13. And I will tell them both often that, only one of them can act like a teenager at a time, because the poor mother heart can't handle both of them acting like teenagers at the same time. So I'm sure moms of teenagers understand, and moms of little ones, just enjoy those moments, because even as bad as they are, it's different. Not that I'm not liking it, I love it actually. It's just I miss those small moments, when they used to crawl up in my lap and, put their arms around me and hug me. Yeah, they're both bigger than me, so that doesn't really happen anymore. I have always been a crafty person. From the youngest age that I can remember, maybe 5, 6, playing with things with my mom, either coloring, drawing, started off cross-stitching at a pretty early age, and then took up latch hook. Oh my goodness, I'm sure some of you can remember the latch hook rugs, strawberry shortcake, and the roller skate. And I'm really telling my age here, the 80s. Those were 2 of my favorite projects, and unfortunately I think they got lost in a few of the moves, but I did that. Did a little toll painting, mostly on pots and things that I could give away. I took a couple of the Wilton cake decorating classes, and could make a mean rose, and really enjoyed that. And when I went to sign up for the 3rd class, I found out I was pregnant with my son, and the smell of the buttercream icing made me gag. So that was the end of my cake decorating stint, and it took years before I could actually smell that buttercream icing without wanting to go run, throw up. So it's just funny how your body is. So when I guess my son was maybe 4, 5, 6 months old, I had some of these pictures, developed. At that time, I think digital was just coming out, and it was expensive, and we didn't quite know, how it was going to work. So it was film, and so I go in spurts of taking pictures, because you can't see what you're taking, and you get to you can't just like delete and do all the things that we can do now. So as I was just putting these pictures away in boxes, I just thought to myself, there has to be something else that I can do with these. And a friend of mine had stumbled upon Creative Memories, and as soon as I saw what she was doing, I was hooked. I was sold. And I guess since then I have been scrapbooking since then. So 2002, 12 would be 10, 13, 14, 15 years. Wow. Yeah, I guess as old as my son is, that would have been better math. So obviously, starting out with Creative Memories, my style was a little bit like Creative Memories, but it quickly went different direction very quickly, and just loved what I was doing. I did take a little hiatus from scrapbooking when I went back to anesthesia school, and I did a little bit of scrapbooking on my breaks, but that was pretty much it. I had, my kids were 2 and 4. Pretty much, 2 and 4, and then 3 and 5. So it was, in school, school and kids were about all I could handle. But since then, scrapbooking has just remained very important to me. And the only other craft that I really do now is knit. I can crochet, and I have crocheted several baby blankets, but there's just some joy that I find in knitting that I don't with crochet, and I think it's the hook versus the needles. Any of you other yarn lovers will understand, you know, what I'm talking about. It's definitely a tactile thing. If I had to describe my style, I would say that it is eclectic. There are times that I want it to be very minimalist with open space and a few embellishments or pattern papers just to bring focus on the picture. And then there's times when I want to pull out my mixed media and paint and spray and stamp and do all sorts of things. I love my die cutting machine. I love my Cameo. I love using die cuts, although I don't use those nearly as much. And I do love stamping, although I don't pull them out as often as I should. So I'm trying to be better. And when I have a kit, pull out like a stamp or something else or a die that I want to use, just to use my tools a little bit more appropriately. I'm in love with the silhouette though. That just blows my mind every time I use it, whether it be for a background or a title or just a die cut. It's just blows my mind. It is just so neat. How did I live with it, or how did I live without it for so long? Let's see. So I guess what I will do is show you a little bit about my first endeavors with scrapbooking. That didn't sound very good. So if you have followed me on my channel, you know that my mom has been struggling with some health problems and dementia. And that has just been like the big elephant in the room, and you can't get around it, and it's hard, and I know that I really am not making much sense right now. It's just all these thoughts that come in and you just can't really get them out. But through this journey, I've realized that I have to get these stories down, and I need to get these stories about her and about us, and you know, not only for me, but for, you know, my kids, because there's things that she doesn't remember, and I don't want that to happen to me. And you know, I know that you can't tell the future, and you don't know what is going to come, but what I want to be able to do is have these albums and look through and see these stories and be reminded of these times in our lives. Not necessarily all good. You know, sometimes a story does need to be remembered, even if it's not the greatest. So it has definitely brought a deeper meaning to my scrapbooking. And even looking back at some of my older pages, when I have struggled with journaling, I was able to get down some really good points. So I am happy about some of these older pages, but I think for the most part, before my mom's illness, more of my pages were just playing with pretty paper, which there's nothing wrong with, because you know I still love pretty paper. It's my #1 thing. If I were on an island, I would need my paper, so I'd have to have waterproof storage. But yeah, my paper has to be there. And boy, tangent. So anyway, the way my style has changed has just been from just, you know, certain photos and just little bits of journaling to trying to find a picture that tells the story that I need to tell. And that's kind of a different way of thinking when you're going about with scrapbooking. So I'm just trying to, and I'm not trying to make every page like that, because then that would be for me, it would be very tedious. What I'm doing is jotting down notes of stories that I want to tell, and then just kind of going from there. This was the first set of pages that I did at the scrapbook store when I went, just to kind of get a general introduction, and the owner helped me, so this is not just all of mine. But again, you can see the different shapes, and the corners were all rounded. And here you get the 3D arm coming out. Oh my gracious. Really? Ugh. And another one that where, you cut out the silhouette. Yeah, to show you. So again, this is within the first year. And I took this rocking horse and stitched him from his little outfit. And so I just love that I did that, because, if you watch my last video on Crafty Maven, I did embroidery with a tree. So it's just nice to see that, that some things just don't change. And I love this page, and that this does have a story. And basically I laid him down after I'd gotten him dressed. I'm getting ready to take him for his little portraits at JCPenney's, and he fell asleep. And this child did not sleep during the day. And so I was not about to wake him up, but he woke up. And when he woke up, he was just in a foul mood. So I had to call and cancel the pictures. Well, the funny thing, a week later, we had the pictures, and he had outgrown this outfit in a week. So here is his pictures a week later in a different outfit. But I just thought I'm so glad that that was something that I actually, thought to write down, because that, just shows how fast babies grow, and, sweet little thing. Thank you so much for joining me today on Spotlight Sunday. All of my information is going to be down below. My YouTube channel, Instagram, Pinterest, blog. Please leave me a comment or a question if you have one. I really do my best to get back to them as soon as I can. And I have enjoyed spending time with you today, and I hope that you did enjoy it as well. Thanks so much.